Hello, this is Group 6 project on the music of Papua New Guinea featuring the Men's House song performed by flutes. This is our research on the unique background and culture of Papua New Guinea, especially in the musical aspects and its important contributions to the Voyager Golden Record project. We will be talking about the history of Papua New Guinea, the influence on the musical background, the Men's House songs, the importance of the traditional instruments, and lastly, the creative backgrounds. Papua New Guinea is an island country that lies in the southwestern Pacific. A brief history about Papua New Guinea is New Guinea was possibly occupied as early as 50,000 years ago. The island of New Guinea is divided into two divisions. The eastern division is the country Papua New Guinea, and the western division is Papua Province of Indonesia. The Dutch claimed the western half of the island in 1828 as part of the Dutch East Indies. Due to the lack of media and advertising, Papua New Guinea is one of the least explored countries in the world, both culturally and geographically. For a century, its cultural life and custom has flourished by the influences from other countries. It is estimated that more than 7,000 different cultural groups exist in Papua New Guinea, and most groups have their own language. In Papua New Guinea, there's a traditional celebrations called a Sing Sing, which included singing and dancing with traditional instruments such as flutes, drums. Also, there's a dance that's called Victory Dance, which is also very popular throughout Papua New Guinea, which reflects on the warrior trainings and the skills to attack and defense, mostly in wars and hunting trips. In Papua New Guinea, music plays a very crucial role in the formations of a group identity. Each tribe has their own song, which not only help them stand out from one another, but also act as an alternative to actual warfare. Sing Sing is a term for elaborate festival held over Papua New Guinea that feature choreographic dance and vocal performance by the villager. The music in Papua New Guinea has developed as a hybrid of indigenous, Melanesians, Polynesians, Europeans, and East Asian influences.
Of the selections included on the Golden Record, Men's House Song seems to be one of the more elusive. Information on what its purpose or function is can be hard to find, as the islands of New Guinea are full of many different groups of people, each with their own distinct cultures and way of making music.
The Men's House song is quite different from most songs we know today, as it has a unique polyphonic timbre with the use of two different types of flutes that created a distinguished melody. The song also has a repetitive pattern which sounds like a call and response pattern. As we know, the Golden Record was created to portray the diversity of life and culture on Earth, and it is intended for any intelligent civilizations outside of the Earth. I believe that the Men's House song was added to the record to show the part of the earth that is not yet developed, instead of just having songs from places that we are all familiar with, like the European songs, Asian song, etc. The song contributions is important as it adds more diversity and shows another side of the earth.
In my research, I found that most of the cultures in Papua New Guinea use flutes to varying degrees. For example, in the Milne Bay province, flute playing and the dances that accompany it are used to attract members of the opposite sex in a courtship ritual. The Manigalasi people only play it as teenagers, as it is seen as immature, and the people of the Eastern Highlands associate flute playing with homoerotic activities. One thing that is common throughout all these examples, though, is that flute playing, and most music making for that matter, is typically a man's art. One of the more common themes that I've come across is the music as a function of spirit communication. Flutes can be the voices of the people's ancestors, and they are played at a variety of festive occasions, such as feasts or the building of a new home. Commonly, they are also played at funerals.
This is an instrument made out of bamboo. So they create pipes out of bamboo and other kind of bandings to hold the pipes together. And then they're cut to different lengths and tied together to create various different pitches. So what would happen is the musician or the person that would use the instrument would hold it against their mouth and blow across the top of the edge of the pipe, and it creates a whistle sound. These pipes are also played for religious ceremonies and for celebrations. And they're also not just used in Papua New Guinea, they're also used around the world. And I've also inserted a video that I found of a person from Papua New Guinea playing panpipes. The next instrument is the flutes. Flutes are sacred in Papua New Guinea. They are also played only by men in ceremonial contexts and may not even be seen by women and children. They also are played for certain types of ceremonies, such as burials. They'll play these flutes for initiation reasons. For example, when boys are considered going into adulthood and become men. They also play them at pig festivals and certain rituals as well. For instance, when women have fertility issues, they will have a ritual where they will play these flutes. So they're very sacred. And I've also entered a video here of some natives playing the flute.
I would find it remiss to not briefly comment on the stereotyping that Papua New Guineans face. For example, Khalif Petaluma writes in her book, Papua New Guinea, Society and Culture, that one common stereotype about Papua New Guineans is that they are, quote, primarily jungle dwellers that still practice cannibalism and headhunting. Like with all world music, there can be a preconceived notion about their music being less complex or important as Western concert music. It is important to note how colonial ideas and racism perpetuate how we think about the music of cultures that may seem too strange to understand. Their musics are old, meaningful, and just as emotionally effective and complex as the music in the West, and I believe that is very important to remember.
Robert McLennan is an Australian doctor who recorded the Men's House song. It is essential to say recorded, not created or performed, as Robert only recorded the performance. He did not release it either, as it was recorded and sent for the Voyager by the ethnomusicologist Alan Lomax. While Robert's name was on the song, it could be inferred that he took advantage of the Nyara clan culture. The only reason behind the recording is his appreciation of Nyara music. While in Kandinjie, he loved the music and recorded 19 articles. When he left, he shared them with Alan, who unknowingly recorded the song and sent it for consideration for the Voyager trip. This can be seen as a human action of taking something one may not fully appreciate or understand. While much is not known about the men who performed the instrumental, it has been documented that the men and their descendants of the Nyara clan were unaware that there was a performance recording and that the recording was sent to space. It was only in 2013 that the clan was notified of the expedition of the recording. While they were somewhat happy to hear that a song with much meaning and history was chosen to represent humanity in space, they were angered that such a particular song could be recorded and distributed without proper explanation and credit to those who performed the piece. In August 2019, Don Niles, director and senior ethnomusicologist of the Institute of Papua New Guinea Studies, and his colleagues Jedisa Jacob, Balthazar Moriguba, distributed copies of the Men's House song to the descendants of the performer. In a sense, this can be seen as music that initially belonged to them and was curated and respected by them. It has finally returned to them, even though the true story behind the recordings is not widely known. Mari Uamangi, is the song's original name, the title of which is the name of an ancestor connected to the clan. Referring to the female ancestral being who focuses on identity, the piece is to be played at initiation ceremonies or inaugurations, with the flute invoking the voices of the ancestors to communicate. We can see this communication style parallel to NASA attempting to communicate with whatever life might receive the Voyager. This is a sense of an example of the human interest in communicating with the unspecified or the unknown. This classification of the song cycle, SAGI, refers to the astral beings that are to be remembered and recited on claimed space, and to reinforce that its identity is to serve as something that belongs to someone.
Here are the sources that we have used to collect our informations for our research. Thank you for listening to our research on the Papua New Guinea musical. I hope that you have enjoyed our video as much as we have enjoyed doing research on it. Thank you.